This jumping thing in the middle is me. Hi, my name is Nana, and this gorgeous guy in the corner is my boyfriend. Yeah, he's just the most wonderful person I know. And yeah, he doesn't look very satisfied with the fact that I'm filming, but usually he's the sweetest, I promise. But this story isn't about me, or about Julian. It is about a dog. And this video is from the day when we got him.
Can you say something? Because I'm so worried. Like, I've sweated through this other sweater and it stinks now. So you have to do the talking sometime.
What talking? What?
So, I just want to say what we've prepped for him now.
We've prepped his bed.
We have prepped his really nice, beautiful bed.
And we've prepped the second bed.
And we both fit there. Julian doesn't really fit there, but I fit there. This is his second additional DIY bed. And so this is his food station. We're not going to be using it much.
Food and brush station.
Yeah, we're not going to be using the bowls a lot, like for water, yeah, but not really for food. I think we're going to hand feed him the first few weeks. No, the kitchen's not so clean. There's snacks. So I got rabbit ears. I can't really open. Can you open it? You don't have to touch the ears. But they look like this. They really smell. And can you open up this closet? So it's a mess here, but there's some kibble for the first few weeks. We also got meat, which I'm gonna show you later. But this is it. He also has toys. We're gonna show the toys. We're gonna show the toys later because one is in my rucksack.
He only has one toy now.
Yeah.
He needs to choose.
The other one we're going to go to the shop and let him choose it. Okay, we gotta go and fetch him. Why and when? I think we started talking about it already like a while ago. Like getting a dog was like something that we thought about for a while, right?
I think we really started talking about it in South Africa, but maybe before, just like a little bit, because we both like dogs, we both had dogs. Yeah. But I think in South Africa we actually painted the picture of like coming back and actually staying a bit in Germany, which basically enabled us to also get the dog and commit to it.
Yeah, but I think it always kind of was like the perfect image. Like we live a little bit out of the city, closer to nature, and yeah, we have a dog. Optimally, we will also have a horse. So. and sheep and cows, and yeah, I need sheep and cows because they're cute. But yeah, a few months ago I actually was starting to look at different dogs, because one of the big things was, okay, we need a dog from a shelter. We will get a dog from a shelter. And I think I always wanted to obviously get a dog also from Ukraine. And that ended up being our final decision to getting a dog from a Ukrainian shelter. That's why we have to now drive all the way to Hanover to fetch him, because the shelter organized the transportation to Hanover from Kyiv. And now we have to drive and actually collect him from there. Yeah, and we looked at a lot of dogs, but with Julien, I think it was like, first his name, because Julian and Julien, I think this would be hilarious. Yeah, exactly. And like he was obviously like, you can't really choose a dog online based on their character, but his character, according to my mom, ended up being also super chill and like super calm, which is, I think, very much resonates with Julian. Same time. So I think we are very lucky in that way, because he spent his whole life in a shelter, and basically he hasn't been really taught anything, but he hasn't had an accident, a single accident in the house, in the apartment of my parents. He's been really, really well behaved, except he doesn't really get along with other dogs so much. Like, he gets along with the dogs that are on the street, but not in the apartment. But gladly, we're also not really planning to have 2 dogs. So far, at least. So yeah, and we're really, really looking forward to it. And yeah, and I wrote to the adoption manager, almost 3 months ago, and it took also quite a while to prepare his documents and prepare him, and yeah, and then like a week, he's been at my parents' place like a week, ne?
Maybe 10 days.
Yeah, like maybe a little bit more than a week. And yeah, and now he's here. And we are 48 minutes away from him, and it's crazy because yeah, again, just like you said, we had dogs, we both had dogs always, so now it's like an essential part of a family. So for us, I think it's very important, very, very exciting. Would you say there's something that you're worried about that's gonna be our challenge? I love the tiny mic. It looks so funny.
It's very professional.
It is very professional.
No, I'm seriously not very worried.
I'm not worried about
What gets me worried is just walking with the dog, and I think I need to build some trust. So I'm always a little worried that something happens outside because people are stupid and don't really watch their dog, or just there I have some fear, anxiety. But otherwise I'm not very worried. We gonna figure it out, and I want him to be chill, so I'm gonna be chill, and I think we're gonna resonate on this.
Yeah, I really think that you are gonna definitely resonate, and well, also I've been doing a whole lot of research, because I think it's also really important, and I've also been telling Julian all about it. But I think it's really important before you actually get a dog to have certain things figured out, and I think most important is time. Do you have enough time in your day to not only go for a 5-minute walk in the morning, 5-minute walk in the evening? And the recent discovery was actually that you have to go not twice a day, but at least 3 times a day, because the dog's bladder is fills up during 8 hours. 8 hours, yeah. I think I said 8 hours. So you need to go for a morning walk, a lunch walk, and an evening walk. And you need to provide your dog with enough exercise. You need to provide your dog with the right food. And what I've also discovered while doing my research is that they need to have, what I wanted to say is that they need to have a primarily raw diet, because the research shows it's actually the best for them. It's the closest to what they would eat in the wild. And you still have to know how to balance things out. You need to know the right ratio of organ meat, bony meat, also a little bit of vegetables mixed in there. But that was the recent discovery. The kibble that I showed earlier is just gonna be kind of most of the time, the first month, I think we're gonna still use kibble, because he's very much used to kibble. That's what he used to eat in the shelter, and I can't just pop him on a raw diet out of nowhere, because his stomach is gonna go crazy. So we're gonna slowly transition him using the kibble mixed in with raw, and I'm gonna also maybe show a little bit of the process once we settle in and get it all sorted out. So yeah, that's diet, training wise, I mean, he's relatively young, but it's still like that he has a lot of kind of settled in habits that he used to do in the shelter, but he's a very, like, for a dog that has never been trained, he's a very I don't know, he has a very solid foundation for a dog that has never done any training of any kind. And yeah, we continue on driving and we will see him now in 37 minutes. We will have our Julien.
Soon. Yeah.
We arrived.
It's a very sketchy location.
Super weird.
There's a lot of druggies here with their boobs out.
There was a woman that was completely topless. Super weird.
Not completely topless. She had a pullover, but then her boobs were hanging over the pullover.
Just following the recent trends. Maybe she's a fashionista, you don't know. You never really know. But I'm like, I personally, I can't come down. I keep looking in where the car could come from, and there was a same transporter, like the same kind of model, but the wrong number plate. So yeah, so I guess they're not here, and I also didn't get a message from the transporter yet. So we're just gonna wait here. And I said if we're gonna have to wait more than 10 minutes, we're gonna have to go back to the druggy gang. Yeah. But we're gonna drive there, so.
See if there's some drugs for us.
Is there some drugs? I mean, we're also near trash. But it actually looks like a nice location, if not for the weird people.
And a few moments later, I must say, when we met him, he was absolutely terrified. He tried to hide in the bushes, he tried to go away from us, and trying to get him out of the cage from the truck was also not very easy. He basically dug himself in the cage and didn't want to go out. But that wouldn't last long. We went for a tiny little stroll around with him, and he peed actually properly, and then we went on our drive. He hopped into the car quite easily, I wouldn't say there were any issues with getting him in the back of the car, and I was constantly also looking over him, petting him, comforting him, and he was really, really good during the drive. He was not afraid, he was a little bit stiff, but not terrified for sure. And during our drive, we actually planned ahead that we will stop in several locations so we can give him the opportunity to pee. But I think he was also relatively scared of the surrounding area. But you can see that he's not too bad on the leash. He is actually walking, and it was a lot of fun. And after what felt like forever, we arrived home and then went for another little walk to also see how he is on the leash, and he was, as you see, much more relaxed and much more understanding actually what's going on. I'm pretty sure he didn't get what was going on, but still he was much calmer. And after the walk we gave him a nice wash, and he was also very calm, and we were kind of ready for it because Mom did that before with him. Look how much dirt.
If you say fui, then no more.
And after all that long, tiring journey and a very hard day, it happened. He just fell asleep on our lap and never had to worry about anything ever again. The beauty about getting a shelter dog is obviously in how he changes later on, and this is something that I'm not going to fully show in this video, but I might make a separate one just about how much he had changed in this time. It's been 5 weeks that we've had him now, And it's a very fascinating journey to see how we train him, how we teach him to do certain things, how we optimally travel with him in the future. And it was truly a life-changing decision, and definitely one of the best ones that we've made.